Why aren't you doing the things that you said you were going to do? Don't scroll. You clicked this video on purpose. So you have to watch the whole thing. At least give me a couple of minutes and let's sit down and figure out why you're not doing the things that you said you were going to do. So if you click this video, there's a good chance that you make promises to yourself that you can't keep. You start things and you can't finish it. You do one thing and halfway through that one thing, you get inspired to do something else. And then you make progress in that second thing. And then you forget why you're doing that second thing in the first place. So you go back to the first thing. And right before you complete the first thing, you start a third or a fourth thing. Why do you do things that you want to continue, but you can't keep it up? This is not a matter of motivation. Now I have ADHD, so I struggle with low motivation, and dopamine seeking behaviors is a thing with me, and I like to chase the shiny new thing instead of being consistent with what I said I was going to do. But it's not a matter of motivation, it's a matter of will. It's a matter of will, and it's also a matter of what type of system we have. Do we have a system that's conducive to us doing what we said we were going to do? You're watching this video right now, and you'd be better off cutting this video off and working on the thing that you said you were going to do. And I got some things that I said I was going to do that I'm not doing right now. So I'm talking to myself. I am no better than you. I am no better than you. But let's talk about why we're not doing the things that we said we were going to do. So there appears to be a disconnect between what we say we're going to do, what we want to do, and what we actually do. When this is the case, it means that the things that you actually want to do potentially might not be the things that you want to do. You might want to do it, or you may not want to do it. It could be something that you thought about at 1 a.m. where you had this spur of motivation and you thought to yourself, oh my goodness, I got to do this one thing. Like if I can just do this one thing, this is going to be a thing. These late night ADHD thoughts, or it could be a manic thought. But you just have so much inspiration. You feel like if you just make some progress on this one goal, is going to change a lot of lives. And that could be the case. But at some point, the thing becomes boring. And the boredom is what I want to talk about today. There's this gap between where we are right now and where we want to be. And a lot of us are not able to sit down in those boring moments and push through. And a lot of this has to do with systems. I'm a big fan of the book Atomic Habits, and the author James Clear talks about having systems in place. If you have an ADHD brain like mine, you have to have a system in place. If you don't, you'll get things done. You might have a good week, a good month, maybe even a good year. You could last a year being somewhat consistent. But for the most part, you know the truth like I know the truth. You're consistently inconsistent. That's what's going on here. You're consistently inconsistent. That's the only thing you're consistent with, being inconsistent. And if this hurts, don't feel bad, because I know what this feels like, and I'm talking to myself. But sitting down and doing the boring thing and pushing through every single day and being okay with delayed gratification is where we're going to see the magic. This is where we're going to see the progress. A big reason why people don't make any progress is because of shame. If you have a neurodivergent brain like I have, you should stop and think about the impact that shame has had on your life. This is something that you probably didn't think about. But shame is a big thing. Shame keeps us stuck. Shame makes us want to hide. Shame makes us want to retreat and isolate and not talk about what we're going through. And guilt is not liking what you've done, and shame is not liking who you are. You weren't born not liking yourself, but certain things happened. And certain things that you wanted to happen didn't happen. And because of that, you feel like you're stuck in a position where you're ashamed of where you are. You're ashamed of your circumstances. You're ashamed of the work that you feel like you should have done by now, but you haven't done. You're ashamed of your to-do list. You're ashamed of the fact that you haven't done your taxes. We can get more and more personal. You're ashamed about your body, perhaps. You're ashamed about your social circle and the fact that you don't have friends. You're ashamed about the fact that you've been isolating for so long and you haven't been replying to text messages. You're ashamed about your financial situation. You're ashamed about your dating history or lack thereof. All these things that bring us shame keep us stuck. And when you're stuck, you can't move from where you are to where you want to be. So if we've tried all these different things and we're still stuck, you can't get from point A to point B, we have to try something else. and we have to learn how to be okay with the boring moments. But this all revolves around having a system. So if you made it this far in the video, I want you to think about what small changes do you have to implement that would make it unreasonable and unlikely that you wouldn't hit a certain goal for yourself. I just got off the phone with my lady and we were talking about minimums. If you want to accomplish a certain thing, we have to develop skills at that thing. If I want to improve at marketing or sales, I have to do that over and over and over. If I want to get better at talking, I have to do it over and over and over and over and over. And over time, I will learn how to articulate myself better. If we don't do things with consistency, we just won't get better. But if you create a system where you have to do something at a minimum at least once or twice a day, it's unlikely that you wouldn't hit a certain goal, a certain mark. And when you do this, when you have a tangible goal that you're chasing, it makes it harder for you to negotiate with yourself. The things that you can't track are the things that come back to bite you. Think about all the times that you overspent on impulsive purchases. You saw something on Amazon and you felt like you just needed this thing now. And you know that with a click of a button, I can get this thing tomorrow morning, or I can get it in 2 days. So you buy it because you tell yourself that you need it for this new project and you just absolutely must have it, but you haven't done your budget yet. And then all the charges hit your bank account. Boom, 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 boom. Bank account goes negative, or you go below the number that you have set for yourself. And now we're wondering how we got in this position in the first place. We didn't budget. If you don't have a plan, it's gonna come back and get you. It's gonna get you. We have to write things down. Whenever I have an amazing set, so I've been doing comedy for 4 years now. My home club is, well, I have 2 home clubs. The Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood, but my home club right now is the Fourth Wall Comedy Cafe in Hollywood. The address is 5220 Hollywood Blvd. If you're in Los Angeles or Hollywood, we got a monthly show. Come out and see your boy. But that's my home club. And leading up to the show, whenever I put the pen to the paper and I just write my thoughts out, I rewrite my jokes, the shows always go amazingly well. Like I rarely ever bomb when I do that. But when my thoughts are not organized, they're all over the place, I haven't written things down. I don't even have to write the jokes, I just have to write. When I'm not writing, I go on stage and I'm unsure of myself. I'll mess up jokes that I've been delivering with success for 4 or 5 years. I just wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared, that's all. I just wasn't prepared. So you can regress where you're not writing things down, where you're not tracking things. The first thing that you have to do right now, if you feel like you're stuck, you have to eliminate the shame. You have to make it okay that we've had a to-do list for the past 3 months and we haven't done a damn thing. Once you've made it okay that this is your situation, all right, cool. Let's devise a plan that makes it unlikely that we'll fail. If we have a couple of minimums that we're going to achieve every single day, how are we not going to attain that goal? I think back to when I first started social media, and I started YouTube in 2017. It wasn't successful. The fact that I have over 200,000 subscribers now blows my mind, because when I first started YouTube, I couldn't make any traction. I was posting videos. I had my younger brother helping me out, but I was going to Augusta Mall and we're trying different things, day in the life of a psychiatric nurse practitioner student. That video did go viral. Day in the life of somebody with a clothing company. And I tried a lot of different things. I wasn't making a lot of progress. My brother was staying up with me till 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and we're stuck at like 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. I just couldn't get any traction on social media. Then TikTok comes along, musically, and then it turned to TikTok. Late 2019, I caught a vibe. I found my rhythm. And once I found my style and I learned how to articulate myself and I learned how to post mental health content to where people could understand it and people were having fun, I was educating and entertaining at the same time. Once I learned how to do that, we started to see some momentum. Went from 0 followers to 500 followers to 1,000. This happened progressively over a couple of weeks. I got to 2,500 followers and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I'm famous. It's time to move to Los Angeles. I kept it up, and in a couple of months I had 20,000 followers on TikTok. I got an invite to go to a creator meetup in Los Angeles. That changed my life. I came back from that creator meetup with about 35,000 followers, And I told myself that I was going to post every single day. And I did that for 9-10 months straight. By the end of the year, I had 400,000 followers, and I moved to Los Angeles. And then this big platform that we have now with over 100 million monthly views and 5 million followers. It started off, as a one-by-one thing. We put one foot in front of the other, and look how far we came. And I didn't miss a day of posting for 9-10 months. Of course, I enjoyed the thing, but I told myself on the plane back from Los Angeles as I was flying back to Richmond, Virginia, to go work a job that I loved. I loved forensic psychiatry, and I still miss those patients. I love forensic psych, but I told myself, I said, Kojo, we're gonna post one video at a minimum every single day. We did it for 10 months. By the end of the year, I was looking at 400,000 followers. I had 35,000 leaving Los Angeles. By the end of the year, we had 400K, and now we're moving to LA. Because I set a minimum standard for myself. I'm gonna post one video a day. I have to. And I didn't miss a day. And I self-sabotage a relationship, which is not good. I'm not telling y'all to do that part, but if you're consistent with a certain thing, you're gonna get to your goal. Now, the thing that I'm not talking about here is the fact that TikTok was extremely fun. I was using trending sounds. I was referring to things that were in the culture. The references that were going on TikTok, the dances, we do these little dances, and it was a vibe. I was having fun. So I made it fun for myself. I had a tripod in my office. I would lock the... People don't know how embarrassing my social media start was, at least on TikTok. I had a tripod in my office, and I would lock the door because, I got a big boy job. I'm doing forensic psych. I don't want people to, barge into my office and I'm out here like just making a TikTok dance. So I would lock the door. I had my tripod, and I would make videos about mental health, ADHD, depression, bipolar, PMDD. The tripod was in my office. So how wouldn't I make at least 1 or 2 videos a day? I made it easy for myself to execute on the goal that I had. So if you have a system and you put minimum standards in place, you're gonna get there. But you keep shaming yourself because you haven't made progress on your goal. So you're not gonna get from point A to point B. You won't even get from point A to the first step because you make it a bad thing that you haven't accomplished anything. So if you haven't done the things that you want to do, and you keep telling yourself that you're going to do these things, first thing you have to do, eliminate the shame, right? Then we have to implement a system. Implement a system where we're going to hit a couple of minimums. We're going to do at least 1 or 2 things every single day. It can be as easy as making your bed, or I'll get the dog out for a walk. But you have to stop shaming yourself for being behind on your to-do list and make it okay to not be okay. Mental health is a real thing. If you lose this up here, you don't have much of anything left. So make it okay to not be okay. Right now where we are, we don't like where we are, cool. In the future, we're gonna get there. But make it okay to not be okay. And then from there, we're gonna put a system in place that makes it unlikely that we will never hit our goal. That we can't not hit our goal, actually. Because if you say, I'm going to do at least 1 or 2 things every single day, and you make it easy to do those 1 or 2 things, you'll see your confidence rise. And momentum is a hell of a thing. That's why when you're stuck, you can be stuck for months, sometimes years. And when you have serious momentum, you'll go like this. You'll go like that. Not just like this, but you're going to, woo. I don't know why I made that sound, please forgive me, but you're going to make a lot of progress. So don't shame yourself. Put systems in place. Momentum is going to carry you a long way. If you haven't done the things that you want to do, understand that you can get there, but there's a gap between the person that you are now and the person that you want to be. And we'll never get there by being unkind to ourselves and by listening to the negative voices. So that's all I got as it relates to this video. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself. I know that you can do it. I know that I can do it. I still got goals that I want to reach. I still have standards that I set for myself. And every day I can be better. Right now I'm working on just getting consistent sleep. As long as I do that, I feel good. When I feel good, we have a great day. When I have a great day, other people have a great day because I'm able to radiate that positive energy. So just know that you can get there. You can reach your goals. A lot of people care about you, and I'm one of them. Take care.